What's going on, everybody? It's Will from SC Highlights back with another video, this time covering one of the most impressive off seasons I've ever seen for a college football team. The Utah Utes, coached by Kyle Whittingham, in his 18th season with the team, have pulled in 6 former 4-star transfers for the upcoming season. These include linebacker Josh Calvert, running back Chris Curry, wide receiver Theo Howard, quarterback Jaquindon Jackson, safety Brandon McKinney, running back TJ Pledger, as well as former 3-star quarterback Charlie Brewer. With the addition of these budding stars, Utah is the team to look out for in the Pac-12 and may very well have a chance to slip into the college football playoffs. The Utes have had great success in the past few seasons, reaching the Pac-12 championship game in 2018 and 2019. Unfortunately, the team struggled early last season as their Week 1 starter, Cam Rising, suffered an injury in their very first game. However, they were able to recover, winning their final 3 games and finishing with a record of 3-2. After the season, tragedy sent shockwaves throughout the program when Ty Jordan was killed on Christmas night from an accidental, self-inflicted gunshot wound. Ty Jordan had been named Pac-12's Offensive Freshman of the Year and appeared to be on the path towards a highly successful career with the Utes. Ty Jordan's death has impacted the team deeply as they continue to mourn him. Whittingham was able to bring his team back together and persevere in the face of tragedy by bringing back 13 of the 17 seniors. Other players, such as junior star linebacker Devin Lloyd, announced his decision to return when he had the option to declare for the draft. What's the key reason behind the return of so many seniors and NFL draft eligible players? Well, it's the eagerness to win Utah's first ever Pac-12 championship that brought them all back. In order to make this happen, though, Whittingham and the coaching staff had to address some key needs. The first gaping hole that Whittingham had to fill was at the quarterback position. Due to Cam Rising's season-ending injury, Jake Bentley became the starter and led the Utes to a 3-1 record, finishing with 882 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. However, in early January, he announced he was going to transfer to South Alabama. In my opinion, Whittingham wanted to address this lack of quarterback depth and wanted to find someone with experience who could help mentor Cam Rising. Therefore, he went to the transfer portal and was able to pick up one of the most prolific passers available. Enter Charlie Brewer, the former Baylor quarterback who has had an impressive career with the Bears. He announced his transfer to Utah in late December. Brewer finished his time with the Bears with 9,700 passing yards, 87 total touchdowns, and 28 interceptions. His most impressive season came during his junior year when he led Baylor to an 11-3 record that culminated in a Sugar Bowl appearance. He struggled during his senior season in the absence of head coach Matt Rhule, who had left to coach the Carolina Panthers, as the Bears finished an abysmal 2-7. Brewer is poised to take the starting job after finishing 15 for 15 with 151 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Utes' spring game. In addition to Brewer, freshman Jaquindon Jackson joined the Utes via the transfer portal. Jackson from Duncanville, Texas, was the second highest ranked prospect in the Longhorns' recruiting class. At Duncanville, he finished with 3,611 passing yards, 40 passing touchdowns, along with 3,293 rushing yards and 51 rushing touchdowns. After a knee injury ended his highly prolific high school career, he found himself 4th on the Longhorns' depth chart and decided to join Utah, mainly due to his friend, the late Ty Jordan, who had encouraged him to join. On 247sports.com, former director of scouting Barton Simmons compared him to Dak Prescott due to his athletic abilities and his strong build. He has the chance to take over as the starting quarterback as soon as the 2022 season rolls along. The next problem that Whittingham faced was to add depth to his wide receiver room. 2 experienced receivers, Brian Thompson and Samson Nakua, transferred out of Salt Lake City in February. Whittingham addressed this by pulling in Theo Howard, who is officially now signed to play for Utah. Howard originally started his career at UCLA, where he played for 4 seasons and finished with 1,359 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. In 2020, he suffered an Achilles injury and also transferred to Oklahoma, where he did not see too many targets and finished with just 13 receptions for 163 yards. Howard will bring experience and leadership to the young wide receivers who will play a bigger role in the next few years. In terms of their depleted backfield, that included former 4-star recruit Jordan Wilmore transferring to Fresno State this offseason. Whittingham managed to land former LSU running back Chris Curry and former Oklahoma running back TJ Pledger. Curry was poised to be the starter for the Tigers in 2020 after Clyde Edwards-Helaire was drafted by the Chiefs. However, the team struggled overall, finishing with a record of just 5-5, and Curry ended the year with just 145 rushing yards. Pledger, on the other hand, finished his 3 seasons at Oklahoma with 695 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, but he never was able to fully emerge as the clear starter. With the return of Kennedy Brooks, Pledger knew he wouldn't have the opportunity to take over the starting role. Currently, it appears that Curry is the favorite to win the starting role due to his strong performance in the spring game, where he was dominant on almost every single carry. On the defensive side, Utah added 2 former Washington Huskies players. First one we'll talk about is former Washington inside linebacker Josh Calvert. In high school, he started for Oaks Christian in California, where he played quarterback, linebacker, and safety, finishing with 70 total tackles during his senior year. He hasn't seen any game action yet on the collegiate level after tearing his ACL as a freshman, and then was unable to recover from his injury in time for his sophomore season. With this lack of experience, he found himself buried in the linebacker depth chart that was loaded with young stars. His younger brother Ethan is also a 4-star inside linebacker who signed with Utah last December. This may have influenced Josh's decision to join the Utes. Last Wednesday, former Washington Huskies safety Brandon McKinney announced his decision to join the Utes. Utah needed help at the safety position as rising sophomore Nate Ritchie is going on a 2-year church mission, and RJ Hubert is still recovering from a knee injury that occurred during the 2019 Pac-12 championship game. McKinney brings a ton of experience to Utah, as he has spent the past 4 seasons playing for and appearing in all games for the Huskies. With the addition of all of these players, Utah has the potential to be a threat in the upcoming season. Many of these transfers have had highly successful high school careers, but they are still waiting to match that success on a collegiate level. Perhaps in a new environment, these transfers will fully realize their potential and live up to the expectations that were set for them when they left for college. The bottom line is, Utah has added some great players to their team for the upcoming season. If there is a team that should not be slept on, it is the Utah Utes. I mean, don't be surprised if they win the Pac-12 or even slip into the college football playoffs. That'll be it for this video, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment any video ideas you have below. Thanks for watching.